Okay. Can everybody see where it says dual special needs plan year 2025 new rules?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's see what time it is. It's 2:01. I'm going to give it about 2 more minutes because I know that there are people registered that are not in here. But if they join us, you can let them in so we can go because this is confusing. I encourage everybody, microphones are open. I want the questions. Because there are so many changes. And even if you just don't understand dual special needs in general, because we do have new agents on with us, we have one that will be joining. He's running a little behind. So I definitely want to go over what a dual special needs is. And also we'll be going over eligibility, the new rules, and all the things. So we're going to give it about 1 more minute. We're going to get going.
I'm here.
You're here? Okay, then we're going to get going. Okay. Dual special needs plan year 2025, new rules and definitions. We're going to go over what are DSNPs, the eligibility, how to do DSNPs, how do DSNPs work, hello, enrollment periods, and new rules. So just a little background for everybody, new and old. The DSNP market, I'm going to kick this off by saying that I have been in the insurance industry, as most of you know, for almost 20 years. And typically in the Medicare space, we tend to stay away from duals. And we do that because typically in the past, they've been able to change every quarter. And I tell you, there are some people who don't have a tooth in their head, but will move DSNP plans for better dental and just sign up with whoever calls them because they think they're getting on the new latest and greatest. All of that is changing. So let's dive in. What are DSNPs? A dual eligible special needs plan is a managed care plan, Part C, so it's part of the Medicare Advantage that combines Medicare and Medicaid benefits for people who qualify for both. I would like to address the LIS and the new DSNP when we get into that. So hold those questions. I can feel that they are coming. DSNPs offer specialized care coordination, and wraparound services. So for those who are new, people who have Medicare and Medicaid have low income, obviously because of the Medicaid word. And so in these DSNP plans, these plans have become very rich in benefit for 2025. They have rent allowance, pest control, utility benefits, groceries. They can use their flexible card at the pump to get gas. I mean, the bells and whistles are endless on these plans, on a true DSNP plan. So that's the wraparound care because it's more than just medical when you're tending to somebody who is in that situation. Dual eligible people fall into several Medicaid eligible categories. This determines the type of DSNP plan they can enroll in, and that is super important when we learn about the new rules. Their access to Medicaid benefits and the level of help they can receive for premiums and cost sharing. So we can go anywhere from when we're talking about Medicaid, there's all these different categories, and we are going to define those in the next few slides. And that determines, are they full Medicaid or not? Are they LIS, which is low income subsidy through Social Security? And it gets all sorts of confusing. States may set up eligibility categories differently. So check with your state before enrolling in a beneficiary into a plan. So that's odd, right? That's different because typically when we talk about Medicare, we are talking at a federal level. Believe it or not, the Healthcare Authority and Medicaid work together, and part of that is decided through the Healthcare Authority, which means state level Medicaid. Who qualifies for a DSNP? In general, the beneficiary must be a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, qualify for original Medicare Parts A and B, and meet the income and asset requirements for your state's Medicaid program. Live in a service area where DSNPs are available. I had a call last week because one of our agents, was trying to get somebody into a dual special needs plan, and they just weren't populating in that zip code. That is true. There are cases that there are just not DSNP plans available. And why that's so important is because next month there's all sorts of new rules. Right now, if you have Medicare and Medicaid, you may be able to go into a core plan, and the plans will coordinate. So enrollment rules may vary by plan. Check with the plan provider for details. What are resource limits? Now let's dive in. What counts as assets limits? Money in a checking, savings, or retirement account, stocks and bonds. So this isn't something whenever people who work in the financial services, when they're looking at spend down and assets and all of that, they're looking at houses, they're looking at cars. I can tell you that when Medicaid looks at it, they are not looking at your house as long as it's the house you live in. They're not looking at the car as long as it's the car you get around in. What they're looking at is the money in the checking, savings, or retirement account, stocks, and bonds, because those are all liquid assets that you can obtain to get medical care. What is not counted? The home, one car, a burial plot. Where that comes in, and probably odd to some of you, why would it say burial plot? That's because people do buy life insurance policies their whole life that have a cash value so that they can have them through retirement. These are usually guaranteed issue, and they're usually there to pay for funeral expenses. So that's what they're talking about, in addition to the up to $1,500 for burial expenses if they have to put that money aside. Furniture and other household and personal items. A lot of people who work for us also work in the financial services. So we got to take that hat off when we're looking at Medicaid. This is a totally different demographic of people, and these are the rules in general. So your situation, monthly income limit, and resource limit. A qualified Medicare beneficiary QMB program is somebody who, as an individual, has $1,325 or $1,700 as a married couple. Resource limits, remember, that's going to be your checking, your savings, your retirement, all those things that we talked about over here in this column. So money in checking, savings, retirement account, stocks, or bonds. They cannot have more than $9,660 as an individual or $14,470 as a married couple. This comes from Medicare.gov. It helps pay for Part A premiums, Part B premiums, deductibles, coinsurance, and co-payments for services and items that Medicare covers. Now, these QMB Plus programs through the DSNPs, through Medicare Advantage, they offer so much more, as we discussed in the beginning, all the way from rent to utilities to food and even gas in the car. Medicare providers cannot bill beneficiaries for services and items that Medicare covers, including deductibles, coinsurance, and co-payments. Well, for those who are new into the Medicare business, that's called balance billing. And generally, if it's a DSNP, a CSNP, or an HMO, they can't balance bill. Only PPOs can. Just a little extra information. Beneficiaries will also get extra help paying for the prescription drug. They will pay no more than $12.15 in 2025 for each drug covered on their Medicare drug plan. So a question I get a lot from the rookies, is what we're going to call them, is, well, if their drug isn't on formulary, does that mean that Medicaid will pay for it? Absolutely not. Whenever you enroll them into a Medicare Advantage plan, you're still going to have to follow the formulary of that plan. So it's super important to not only enter in all of their doctors, but all of their prescriptions as well, because that makes a drastic change in how beneficial a plan will be for somebody. Charlie, do you have anything to add yet?
Not yet.
All right. Always have to check with her.
Taryn,
Yes.
is this 1325 or 1783, is that net or gross?
I believe that is going to be gross. Charlie, will you check on that for me while I go through the presentation? But I remember reading, I should have
It is. It's
dictated
gross.
it. It is gross. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You made me question myself, which is a good thing, not a bad thing. So yes, that is gross. So specified low-income Medicare beneficiary, which is known as SLMB, helps pay for Part B premiums, must have Part A and Part B to qualify. Beneficiaries will also get extra help for paying for prescription drugs, and beneficiaries will pay no more than $12.15 for each drug. So what's the difference? Why does it matter what somebody is? Because when you go into Sunfire, and I'll show you if we have time at the end, when you see the dual special needs plans, you're going to see at the top, and even if you go to carrier websites, you're going to see which programs people qualify for, and you need to know what level of Medicaid they have. You can look that up a variety of ways. The easiest way is I always sneak over to the Humana website and take a gander by putting in their information to see what level they qualify for. But every carrier has the ability to qualify people to see if they're already approved for Medicaid. They can tell you which level they are. So this level is called SLMB program. Individuals with an income limit of 1,500 or 9,660 for the year, and 2,135, 14,470 for married couples. And I'm happy to send out my cheat sheet to anybody who wants to know this. A qualified individual, which is a QI program, helps pay for Part B premiums. Beneficiaries must apply every year to stay in the program. States approve the applications on a first come, first served basis. Priority is given to people who got QI benefits in previous years. Beneficiaries will also get extra help paying for the prescription drugs. They too will pay no more than $12.15 for each drug their Medicare drug plan covers. QI is only available for people who do not qualify for any other Medicare coverage or benefits, but may qualify for help from another Medicare savings program. So this is what a QI is, and it depends each state what they're going to call it. And when we're covering a whole nation, I have to go over every level of Medicaid. Qualified disabled and working individual is called QDWI. Beneficiaries may qualify for this program if they have a disability, if they are working, if they lost their Social Security disability benefits, and Medicare premium free Part A because they returned to work. What it does help is to pay for Part A premiums only. And as you can see, the income resources, the monthly is $5,302 and $4,000 in resources, which is again the savings and such checking. So they can't have more than that, and they can only make $5,302 each month, or for a married couple, $7,135. So that gets them a little bit of extra help. Any questions on the definitions? Alex, do you have any questions? Nope. Okay.
What's the fastest animal on Earth? No, I don't have any questions.
Fastest man on Earth. I don't know. That is a good one. I usually do have little fun things, but this is pretty straightforward, so we couldn't make it very fun today. So what's new for 2025? This is where it gets exciting. The new integrated care SEP. So remember the days ago, last year, where you could enroll a dual special needs or somebody with LIS every month or every quarter, into a new plan. Well, now we have this new integrated care SEP. This is a monthly special election period that allows full benefit, dually eligible individuals to enroll into an integrated DSNP if they are also enrolled in a corresponding affiliated Medicaid managed care plan. So, what does that mean? What that means is they have to be in a true DSNP plan. They can't be in um, a plan that coordinates with Medicaid. Remember when we went through a minute ago, we went through this? Whoops, I went one too far. What a QMB, what a SLMB is. Those are people who will qualify for a DSNP. When you get into people who are a qualified individual or may have lost their social security, those are the people who we cannot enroll monthly into a DSNP. Limited enrollment for non-integrated plans in states without integrated plans or where Medicaid switches are not allowed monthly, dual eligible clients will face fewer chances to enroll in DSNP. The SEP requires a Medicaid switch for aligned enrollment. Again, what is an aligned enrollment? That is a specified DSNP plan. That is for those who are fully covered through Medicaid. Reduce lookalike threshold. CMS lowered the threshold for a plan to be considered a lookalike DSNP, meaning plans with high percentage of dual eligible enrollees must meet DSNP requirements or face non-renewal. So whenever we're looking and we're targeting, because most of us work in multiple states, we're going to first have to determine, is there a DSNP available in that market? And then when we're talking to dual eligible Medicare beneficiaries, we're also going to have to determine, are they full Medicaid or are they LIS? Scenarios for dual eligible individuals. Elect any MA plan during the initial coverage election period or annual election period, or switch between any plans during MA open enrollment period is permitted. The finalized monthly dual LIS SEP integrated care SEP and enrollment limitations for non-integrated plans is permitted except full benefit dually eligible individuals in Medicaid would not be able to select a misaligned DSNP where applicable. Clear as mud. Here's another scenario. Elect a Medicare fee-for-service and standalone PDP mid-year. One change permitted per quarter except for the last quarter. They can also elect an integrated DSNP as eligible mid-year and elect a non-integrated DSNP or MA plan mid-year, which is not permitted if they are dual LIS. So when I summed it up and I said, those people who can move monthly because they're fully dual, those are the people that you can change every month. Otherwise, they can have one change per quarter except for the last quarter. The new monthly integrated DSNP special election period is available for newly eligible individuals and for those already enrolled into an integrated plan. Remember, that's a way of saying DSNP plan. They can use this SEP to switch to another integrated plan offered by the same or different carrier. To switch to a different integrated plan from another carrier, an eligible individual must first change their Medicaid plan per state guidelines before enrolling in the same or related company's integrated DSNP for online enrollment. So what that is telling you right there, and as I mentioned in the beginning of this training, is every state that you are licensed in, you're going to have to look up the Medicaid rules. Sunfire, I feel like streamlines it to prevent some of those, put some safety rails. Charlie, do you have any insight into that on our enrollment platform?
Well, I know that in the past it used to tell us exactly which level of Medicaid that each of the individuals were and which level of Medicaid each of the plans would qualify with. I haven't seen that this year, and so I'm not sure if they've made the change or if I just haven't run across my own individuals that are fully eligible. So I wish I had more information, but I don't think that it shows us anymore what levels the plan is available to work with.
Will you pull up Sunfire and check that, because I believe it does state that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
that
like I
might have
said,
been
it may
from-
just be that I haven't had anybody that was eligible this year. I've not worked with a ton of dual eligibles this year.
Well, I
so.
haven't sold any insurance since annual enrollment period, so I mean,
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick. Give me just a second.
thank you. Be aware of the company offering the coordinated Medicaid plan when a member wants to switch enrollment into the DSNP during the integrated care SEP requires proper coordination. Avoid enrolling clients in uncoordinated Medicaid plans, as the same provider does not guarantee coordination. Always verify DSNP types and integration levels and carriers before switching a client. Since I come from a carrier, I do want to touch on this a lot. So a lot of people would look at, let's use United Healthcare. They are a national carrier. They would look up doctors, and they were a network for a regular core PPO, a regular United Healthcare plan. And they're like, oh yeah, your doctors are covered. And then when you switch over to the dual special needs plans, not all doctors are covered the same. So if a doctor is covered in a core plan, that does not mean that they are covered under a dual special needs plan. It requires different contracting, contract numbers, and they also have to accept Medicaid in order to be somebody who's in network on a DSNP plan. You will notice that DSNPs, actually, you're going to start noticing a lot of Medicare Advantage in 2026, but in 2025, you will notice the majority of DSNPs available are going to be HMO. That's true too for CSNPs. There are some PPOs. I'm not saying there aren't, but in most markets, they are HMO, which means what? It means it has a defined network that you cannot go in and out of. A PPO is a network which is called a preferred providers program or organization, where you can go in and out for higher costs, which is why most CSNPs and DSNPs are HMOs, because they offer the richer benefits, and they can because they have the defined network. Any questions on that? Because that was a paragraph. Okay.
I will go ahead and interrupt. The Sunfire does show us whether they are QMB, SLMB, fully integrated, Heidi, FIDE, AIP, and CO. Like, it gives us all of that information now. It was not, I don't believe it was there before the 1st of March. So but all of that information is there now. So they've gone ahead and updated their system.
Why don't you go ahead and link that up, and then whenever we get done, you can show them so they can see where to look.
Sure.
So what else is new for 2025? CMS is also prohibiting MAOs from offering additional lookalike plan contracts as of January 1st of this year, providing options for these carriers to transition their lookalike plan members to a different in-house MA plan, either a true DSNP or a regular MA plan with a $0 premium. Expect your dually eligible clients in lookalike plans to receive notice from their carriers with information about the plan transition.
Taryn?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a lookalike plan? I haven't heard that one yet.
That's the plan that we've discussed in the past about the core plan that dual eligibles will get into, and the plan will coordinate the benefits with the Medicaid.
Oh, so it's a lookalike. It's looking like a DSNP plan. If they don't have the DSNP in their area, is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Fewer DSNPs from, whoops, did I go back? I lost my place. Okay. Fewer DSNPs from parent organizations. CMS is limiting the number of dual special needs plans to 1 per parent organization in each MCO service area. Dual eligibles should have fewer options when shopping for plans. CMS hopes this limitation will streamline and clarify the DSNP process. 1 plan per parent organization will help reduce choice overload for potential enrollees. So whenever like a big deal, people would just target duals just so they can make a sell. What CMS and what the health system in America wants is people to stay on the same plan so they can be followed more closely. That way, when things come up, they can have more resources offered to them through the utilization management team. So the other thing, you see the commercials, you get the phone calls, you may qualify for $200 in groceries each month. This is what they're talking about. They are going after people with Medicare and Medicaid, and they are moving the most vulnerable population that there is. We need to protect that population. We need to keep them on a plan so they can have better health outcomes. That's it. And so that we can get rid, the more firewalls we can put up for these marketing companies to call in and sell over the phone, who are not building a clientele, they're just trying to sell for their $75 spiff from the call center. These rules, I really believe, are going to eliminate some of that. We're never going to get rid of it, but it will help eliminate it. And I do believe that the carriers are stepping up, coming from a carrier perspective, and they're enticing people to not want to leave the plan. That way they can have better health outcomes. If you're DSNP lookalikes, darling, this may help you. Reducing the threshold for lookalike MA plans will require carriers to move dually eligible enrollees to a true DSNP or another $0 premium MA plan. Beneficiaries should expect a notification regarding this change. So there's tons of $0 MA plans and MA plans can coordinate with Medicaid. They're just not going to get all the extra benefits that they truly would benefit from. But again, there are markets that do not have dual special needs plans. And that's where the state will step in. Each state is different, and that's where each state will step in and have rules for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was still wondering on the lookalike plans, like because I'm going to be doing this exact process. Does the Medicaid just automatically coordinate with the Medicare Advantage plan in the background, just like it would if it was a DSNP? Or like, how do you position that to the client so that they know that they're still going to be getting those additional benefits, but we don't exactly know what that is, correct?
They will not be getting the additional benefits. That's why it behooves them to be in a true dual special needs plan, because that's where you get the groceries, that's where you get the gas, that's where you get the rent allowance, all the extra perks. But I have to tell you, depending which state, you're going to have to go to their Medicaid website and understand the rules for each state, because as we're used to Medicare being a CMS, a federal agency, whenever you get into Medicaid, that is a state level. So how they choose to coordinate with the carriers is going to depend state to state.
And so would we recommend that the client contact the state aid, their Medicaid, to find out what benefits are going to coordinate with that? Because can we do that?
That you need to know in the states that you're licensed in, you're going to be responsible to know each of the states' rules.
Okay, one more question, and thank you for that.
You're welcome.
One more question. How do predatory transactions, how are people finding out just specifically and targeting DSNP clients? Like, how do they know who those beneficiaries are when you were talking about? A lot of times whenever,
I'm sorry, there's boxes at the grocery store that say win a chance to win groceries. And then in the fine print, it says, you are agreeing to letting so-and-so, whichever TPMO, third-party marketing organization it is that's doing it, in the fine print. And that's how they create leads. And there's all these lead companies that have these across the whole United States. That's just one tactic. And these people are putting in to hopefully win groceries, and they're actually getting put on a call list. And they're sold over and over and over again.
Okay, so they're being marketed to, and then the beneficiary is calling in, and that's how they're soliciting them to change.
Yes, which is why health systems work with us, because we don't advertise. We don't have any of these tactics. We work directly with the providers to help their clients and meet the client's need, their patients, to meet the patient's needs while meeting our client, the hospital's objectives.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. CMS is seeking to improve protection from confusing lookalike marketing tactics and choice overload, access to integrated plans every month. It doesn't mean that they can change every month. I mean, I guess they could, but what the idea is to get people on these true DSNP plans where they're available, and so that they'll stick, and again, for better health outcomes. More predictable costs with lower cost sharing amounts, and more coordinated care through fully or highly integrated plans. What does this mean for you? Know your state's rules. With all the changes, especially those around the new monthly SEP, familiarize yourself with your state's Medicaid and DSNP rules. Not just the state that you're a resident in, but anywhere that you have a license, you need to learn the rules. Sunfire will help us cheat a little bit, because it's not going to let you enroll somebody into something. It describes it at the top, which Charle will show us. I guess it will, but it'll be denied if they didn't actually qualify for that plan. If you're licensed in several states, this is even more imperative. Check in with your dually eligible clients. Agents may have pushed off a check-in with DSNP clients outside of the annual enrollment period in the past, but this is no longer going to do it. Now, agents may need to service more DSNP clients during the AEP, especially if they don't have the ability to use monthly integrated care SEP due to plans available in their area or their state's Medicaid rules. So in short, what that is saying is that we are all guilty of working our duals during the year. We call it ROY, rest of year, but we also need to reach out to them during the annual enrollment period to make sure that they got moved into the appropriate plan for the new 2025 DSNP rules. So why sell DSNPs? This is my favorite thing to talk about. Benefit of selling DSNPs. New clients, often dual eligible beneficiaries, are overlooked. As I mentioned before, it's because they plan hop, but now the carriers are offering much richer benefits to these dual eligibles that now you'll talk to them and be like, I don't want to lose my U card, or whatever the case may be. Increase sales by offering quality of service. Quantity, the number of dual eligibles outpaces the number of traditional beneficiaries. And the biggest thing is, if you take care of them, who knows who they're going to refer you to. Benefits of a DSNP: specialized care with wraparound service, coordination of care, benefits with increased dental, vision, and transportation, and support with assistance with rent, utilities, and food. You just can't beat the person who never gives up. Babe Ruth. For those who don't know me, I am Taryn. I'm the Director of Provider Referral Operations and Agent Training. If you're not part of our provider program, get with me if you'd like to find out more about it. If you have any questions about technology and resources, feel free to reach out to Charle. And the traditional FMO offerings, we're happy to get you in touch with whoever. My phone number is right here on the screen. That is my cell phone, and that is also my email address. So Charle, I'm going to let you switch over and share your screen so that everybody can see how it looks in Sunfire. Charle, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Her computer does this sometimes. If you just pull it up, I can talk. So I'll have to take time pulling up. So right here, you're going to see where it says Humana Choice SMP, which stands for Special Needs Plans DE. It's a PPO DSNP, QMB only, QMB plus, SLMB plus, and full FBDE. Scroll down, Charlie. Then you'll see where it says all Medicaid levels. Go ahead and, what state are we in? 73401. Go ahead and put in 7. Yeah, that's good. Wait, go back down. Go back down. Go back down. Yeah. Click on generations. So I get this question a lot too. See that maximum out of pocket of $9,350? If you go down to the plan links and and click on summary of benefits, go down. Oh, I hate theirs. I forgot I hate theirs. Okay, so it has a $0 premium. Part B premium reduction 0, because if they have Medicaid, even if you put them on a CSNP plan, see how that says $90 per month that they get back in there? If they are on Medicaid, they will not receive a Part B premium reduction because they do not have a Part B premium. So that would be when you would want to not do a Part B give back plan. There's no deductible. The maximum out of pocket is $9,350. If you'll scroll down, I want to get to the copays.
Hey, Taryn, one quick question while you're going to there. Do all Medicaid DSNPs cover the Part B premium?
Well, Medicaid covers the Part B premium, and it depends at which level as to how much.
Got it. So, okay. So it's still depending on the level. Okay.
Yes. But in this case, if you're full dual, you're going to pay 0. Do you see all these $0 copays?
Yeah.
But remember at the top, it said it had a $9,350 maximum out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That is for actuary purposes. And also, if they lose Medicaid, they will be responsible for that maximum out of pocket. But hopefully, if they lose Medicaid, they call you and get them over here to one of the core plans.
Okay.
And that's how DSNPs work. Charlie, do you have? Oh, your microphone isn't working. Also, I was going to go down to where in that summary of benefits, you'll see, but we won't worry about it. You'll see that they get a card that has, if you want to go to United, so it's not site. Oh, there it is. If you go down and you look at the extra benefits, she's terrible. I told y'all she's a bad driver. Dental services, they get $5,000 if they're on the Premier, which is full Medicaid, to whereas the dual support, they get $2,000. So you can see how that's different. Vision, they are going to get $400 on the fully dual versus $100 on the regular dual support. So that's for those who qualify for less dual services or a higher dual ranking. I don't know how to even say that. And then keep going down. Let's go to the groceries. My dog is barking. I apologize. So in the Smart Wallet, if you're fully dual, you're going to get the $1,250 a year for hearing, dental, and or vision to help pay for anything that's in excess of the benefit they give you because they realize you don't have money for that. You get $225 per month for over-the-counter gas, utilities, and or food and produce. and the benefits do not roll over to the next period on this particular plan. That's something you want to pay special attention to, because there are plans, more of the national carriers, that do allow that benefit to roll over month to month and build up. Any questions on what a dual special needs plan is?
Taryn, I'm not sure that I understand the coordination and the integration, like the fully integrated and the highly integrated, and what that actually means. What I'm looking for.
That is, whenever you look them up in the system and you see that they're Medicaid, you will see that whenever it shows what Medicaid level, that's when that determines it. So the QMB plus, SLMB, all of that, the QMB is going to be fully dual, to whereas let me pull it back up. It'll make more sense. It's hard for me to explain whenever. My goodness.
So are they integrating and coordinating with the Medicaid provider?
Yes, it is doing that, but depending on all the different languages, it's going to depend on what level they qualify for. So those are all different levels. So whenever we look at this, see, they are lower income and have less resources. So a QMB program is going to be fully integrated. They're going to be approved for the high plan that covers all the bells and whistles and gives you all the extras. If you go down to like a qualified individual program, it's going to have less benefits, and they are going to fit into the ones that say all Medicaid levels. So it depends on the Medicaid as to which one, where they're at financially, as to which one of these they are going to qualify for, and if they're on disabled and working. And then that is going to determine which DSNP plan they can be in. And that's what we are showing you on Sunfire, where it outlines which plans cover which category of Medicaid.
And Sunfire won't let us make a mistake with that if we will it.
It will help. It gives you safety rails in the fact that you can read that, but you're going to have to know, are they SLMB? Are they QI? Are they QLMB? Are they SLMB plus? I mean, those are the things that you're going to have to know ahead of time, but the safety rail on Sunfire is that it lists it on above or underneath the plan.
Yeah, so you do a Medicaid eligibility, you find out what their level is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Because there's just no way for us to know that without looking it up. And there's different ways we can do it. You can do it sometimes through Humana and other carrier websites, but we also are regaining marks. So we can also probably help you with that if you ever can't find what you're looking for.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And Darlene, we're getting marks again, so we can look up Medicare numbers.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so helpful. And I, like you, I found that the Humana site is the best one to look up the level, because some of the other carrier sites, it will say they're eligible, but it won't tell you what level they're eligible. But Humana tells you the actual level. We can't hear you right now.
I muted my mic. You have to know that level to know which, are they going to be qualified for one of those? And so there's so much information out there. We didn't really get to jump in to talk about HIDE or FIDE. There just wasn't enough time. I will probably do another training this summer, because we've already booked out trainings through May, to where we can dive into the difference between HIDE, FIDE, QLMB, SLMB, and all the coordinating questions you had, Lisa. But the basic knowledge check was today. The new rules are that you have to be fully dual in order to have a monthly election period, special election period, and it has to be into a DSNP plan. That's the takeaway. Any other questions?
Just one more.
Yeah.
There was a part earlier in the presentation that you said that the beneficiary would have to contact their Medicaid provider in order to switch.
That's if they are in a non-DSNP integrated plan and they would like, and they have a low, they're not fully integrated, meaning they're not fully dual, they can ask for an SEP to switch into a new plan if there's one available that they qualify for. It's not just going to be a guaranteed special election period. All right. Any other questions? We have 14 minutes. We're ahead of schedule. Charlie, can you talk yet?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yay! I was going to let everybody know that there is a training on our CRM in the training center about Heidi and Fighty if you're interested in learning before we're able to put one out. You can go there and look. It's very clearly labeled. So if you go into your training center on your CRM, you can find that training.
Does everybody have access to a CRM? To our CRM. Okay.
And Taryn, will we be able to request this slide deck from you?
Yes, we publish them on our website as well at MedicareCompareUSA.com under agent resources, but I am happy to send it to you, Darlene.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Just
You're
for
welcome.
just kind of looking at the income stuff, because that's where I get a little bit confused about the different levels.
Yeah. Yes, it does get confusing. And, here's the good news. We're not qualified to qualify somebody for Medicaid. So it's up to the state and to social Medicare to do that. So it's good to know that information. So when you have questions, but the awesome, amazing news is that we don't have to be the bearers of the news if they don't qualify.
Yeah.
I would hate to be that deliverer. Bill?
I'm good. Thanks, Taryn. Appreciate it
You're
very much.
welcome. You're welcome.
You have a good one now.
You too.
Bye now.
Bye. Okay. Unless anybody has questions, you're free to jump off. I will stick here in case somebody has a question they'd like to ask. Thank
Thanks
you for
again.
joining. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.